Hello, Stefan. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you, Ryan.
Stefan, could you tell me a little bit about the Era Club?
Well, the Era Club here was established in the mid-1960s, and we've been ongoing ever since. And we essentially provide a service where we're training people to learn how to fly, all the way through up to pilot's license, through commercial pilot's license, and beyond, really. So we provide flight training and also a social side of things as well, not just on the field, but the trips away, club events, that kind of thing.
Wow. And I understand you send out a newsletter with commission marketing. Now, what information do you put inside the newsletter?
We put information regarding achievements, like who's done, for example, done their first solo or who's got their license, that kind of thing. We stick information about upcoming events, that's flying events, so people know what to come along and get their club trips away. We stick information regarding theory courses for commercial pilot's license, try and come up with people for those, and so because you have to obviously do theory courses as well as flying to get a license, so keep people on track with those. We give a summary of what's been happening over the past fortnight of club events, how things went, and if there was funny or amusement that came along, and just the odd funny photo or funny sort of joke at the end of it.
Wow. And what positive comments have you been getting back from the newsletter?
Generally, I think people like the format of it. There's improvement over what we had last time. So there's mainly, I think, it's a bit more the presentation. I don't think we've altered the pure content of it too much. We've changed it. We've added maybe a few more things on it, but I think it's just really the presentation. I mean, it's a nice shiny package. It all looks nice, and I think people like it like that.
The professionalism going out there.
Yeah, it does bring a good impression on it. Yeah.
And probably one of the good question would be, what advice could you give for like a new business owner that's thinking about sending out a newsletter? Because you've been sending out newsletters for quite a while now.
Yeah.
What advice could you give a person who's possibly going to be sending out a newsletter?
Well, I guess they shouldn't necessarily be sending information out just for information's sake. I think it's got to have a purpose to it.
Yeah.
I think it's got to have use to the people who you're trying to send it to, because you don't want to obviously have them get annoyed with what you're doing, because then that kind of thing will just have it being another email that they delete or whatever. Think about how you're going to maintain, or who's going to do the work, of actually putting it all together, or actually getting the content together, I should say.
Yeah.
And probably that kind of thing. I guess ultimately this is how other people are going to see it, and you've got the option of maybe forwarding it on as well. So I mean, it's a way of how people are dealing with media. So it's important that you do it correctly, I guess.
And I guess in the end there it comes down to the communication, really just communicating with everybody, and so everybody knows exactly what is happening throughout the organisation and everything like that. Would that be the main facet of the newsletter?
Well, I think any information you've got to get across has got to be useful.
Yeah.
And if it's not going to be useful, well, then why sort of do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, as long as it's got a purpose to it and it's relevant to the people, then they should be interested in it.
So, I think the moral of the story there, make sure that the content inside the newsletter is there's a reason for reading it.
Yeah.
So, trying to find a problem, or that's what I say to people, try to find a problem when the person's going to receive it, they're definitely going to read it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a website, Stefan?
Yes, we do have a website, yep.
Could you give the listeners the website address if they're wanting some information about Era Club?
Yep, it's www.nsac.co.nz, and you can actually go through and sign on to our database if you want to on that. It's got a link where you actually have our previous issues of our club magazine as well, Pop Tour. But there is a section up in there which is good with the commission marketing thing to log on and sign up so you get the fortnightly updates as well. So you don't have to be a club member to sign for that, but it's all good. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you very much for your time there, Stefan.
Not a problem.
Okay. Okay, Eileen, how's it going there?
It's going really well, thank you. It's a day here in Melbourne.
Oh, fantastic. Now, Eileen, I was just wondering if you could tell me a little bit about your business, what you run there.
We run a training company that covers both Australia and New Zealand specifically, and sometimes we train internationally further than that as well.
Okay. And for the newsletter that we send out, what information do you put inside the newsletter?
Our newsletter covers off personal information for our clients, and because we mail out to about 1,500 people, not all of them are clients, so I have a scattering of course information in there. Nothing too heavy, just pieces of information. We have this program coming up, you might be interested in it. I'll put a PDF attachment through so they could go in and have a look at that program, or a registration form. We do links to our website from the newsletter, so we get a lot more hits on the website.
Wow.
We do congratulations of our students when they get certified, personal information about what Mark and I are doing in our travels.
Okay.
Sometimes a picture, a photo of a class or something like that.
Wow. And what comments and positive comments that you've been getting back from the newsletter?
Our students particularly love the newsletter. They love being kept up to date, and every time I send it out I get back 2 or 3 quick responses with thanks for the newsletter, love getting it, keeps me in touch with what I've learned, or I get a newsletter that says, I just got in after a really hard day and read your newsletter and I opened it up and it's just so neat knowing what you guys are doing. Just comments like that. Sometimes I get a specific response like I used a such and such pattern that they had learned, a model of intervention process they had learned, and they just used it on a client, got a great result. So sometimes I get a real specific, I have used this technique and got this result in coaching or something like that.
Wow. And do you find it's helped you close the conversion rate for some sales?
I think it must have. I just recently sent out an email advertising a new product, a new training product, and I've had a response back that I've never had before. It wasn't on the newsletter as such. However, I think the newsletter has driven people to take more notice of what Communications Plus sends out to them.
Okay.
When they get a bulk email to 100 clients, say, and then I get a really good conversion rate, I think the newsletter has just popped our presence in front of them a little bit more, and so when they get an update newsletter, email, or something like that, I think they are starting to take more notice of that. It's just the continued contact and the fact that we're bothering to get in touch with them,
Okay.
to get them informed.
I understand. So it's really just the communication, you're keeping in contact with those customers and those leads.
Yes, and not always trying to sell them something.
Yes.
The contact is based on, let's give them a little bit of information. Let's tell them something about the models that we teach. Let's put in a little bit of chit-chat about their fellow students, feedback and things like that. So it's not all about making a sale.
Yeah.
It's about the contact and staying in touch and honouring the fact that we're willing to give out some information for free to people or remind them of what they've learned.
Wow. And what advice could you possibly give to a small business owner that is just really started off, or they've been in business for quite a few years, and they're thinking about starting up a newsletter? What advice could you give to them?
My advice would be to keep it simple to start off with, not to overload the client, keep it to like a one-page thing. In the very beginning, I kept it fairly brief.
Yeah. And
got people used to receiving the newsletter, and then I would add a little bit more information as we went along, so that I just enrolled them in a nice way, a light-hearted way. And some of the information became a bit more in-depth as the newsletters went along. So I've been doing this now, I think, close to 18 months.
Yeah, I think so.
And our newsletter database has grown.
Yes.
People do send them on to their friends, business colleagues. So I think we started with around 1,000 clients, and now we have 1,500.
Wow.
That's pretty good growth in an 18-month period of people finding out about our company. So, even if you've only got